I'm gonna set your place on fire.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Welcome. You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast, and I'm your host, Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is the home for original people, peace, reciprocity, and positive frames of reference. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome anybody new and unfamiliar with my platform. Welcome this evening. So, here we are again, Thursday. Live edition of the Narrator Podcast. And, tomorrow is Friday. We got over hump day. And, we're back at it. So, we had a very interesting week this week. A whole lot of turns of events. Just a whole lot going on in the world. Sometimes it's too much to process. And I'm doing like a lot of projects that I'm trying to get underway, my deadline to be through at least one by the end of next week, or by the end of April. Excuse me, I said next week. Well, I could shoot for next week, but I gotta kind of be realistic too. But anyway, I'm glad you're listening. Welcome to the Narrative Podcast. So let me give you a quick run through of my platform, my content, what I'm expecting to do in my digital space that I'm currently occupying. My narrators, they are my listening audience that listens to me regularly, so they already know the program, they already know the demonstration. So I'm gonna just break it down for new listeners. So let's start at the top. Narrative. Start with the narrative. So I call my podcast the Narrative Podcast because I believe, in fact, I know that the media weaves a false narrative about original people and original culture, and I want to create a platform where I would just want to dispel, all this propaganda and misrepresentation that we get from the media on this space. So I basically want to flip the narrative and correct that oversight and represent us accurately and in a positive way. So that's basically what I do on my platform. It's called the Narrative Podcast. My tagline is the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. I get to the original part in just a second. So that's what I do here on my platform. I provide positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. The ultimate takeaway I want my listeners to gain from my content, if nothing else, is how important it is to share positive content about our people and our culture. Basically, like, the media supplies the rest of the world, people outside of our culture, with negative stereotypes about our people and our culture. They fuel it, they incentivize it, and they reward it. So they primarily do it for, profit to turn a profit. It's financially beneficial to them to portray us in a certain light and, inaccurately disclose, the accounts of who we are as a people and basically just, show us at a disadvantage all the time. In the media, they're always showing us disenfranchised, down bad, lacking education, lacking finances, lacking resources, violent towards one another, like not peacefully coexisting with one another, and dangerous to other people as well. So, on my platform, what I want to do is just play up our strengths, highlight, showcase who we are as a people for real, share stories about leadership, family structure, just basically the antithesis of, how we're portrayed in the media. And like I said, they do it intentionally. They do it for profit. They do it for entertainment. They laugh at, us in a bad situation. So us down bad is very entertaining to them. And they also do it to solidify the dominant society, socioeconomic stronghold they have over, the world's resources by keeping other groups out, of that circle, namely us. But they do it to other groups as well, but they mainly do it to us. But yeah. Another thing on my platform, I don't try to, spread gossip and rumors. I'm anti-gossip, anti-rumors. I don't entertain it. I don't, endorse it or promote it. I do address current news and current topics involving us, or if it's world news, what's that mean for us from our perspective? Because just basically being the mouthpiece for us when I commentate on current issues. But yeah, so basically, yeah, I want the ultimate takeaway for my listening audience to get from my content is how important it is to share positive content, about our people and our culture. Because like I said, the media is just a negativity machine. It just cranks out negativity 24 hours a day about our people and our culture. They manipulate the minds of the masses. They have us, portrayed in a certain light. So, the way we flip the narrative is basically share positive stories, about our people and our culture online. Because these days, your content is a direct representation of you. People equate, what you post online with who you are as a person, your upbringing, your faith and your value system, your ideals and beliefs, is all factored in on basically what you post online. Like you're a grown man, you're a grown woman, it's your page, whatever, digital platform you're occupying, you have the absolute right to post whatever you like. But posting whatever you like comes at a consequence, because people outside of our culture, they're not understanding or understanding the references, and the context about what you're posting. So just imagine they're already just being fed negative frames of reference by our people in our culture. So just imagine in their eyes, if they're always seeing us posting, gang culture, fight culture, drug culture, pimp culture, whore culture, thought culture. Um, just basically being messy online. Just imagine if that's like all they get to know of us. So it's up to all of us to, post positive content about our people and our culture to flip the narrative. So now that I'm done with that, I think you basically have a gist of what I try to do on here. I'm going to go to the original. I refer to our people and our culture as original people, like we are original people. Um, I believe the word original is better suited to describe us than the word black. Um, in early civilization, we created pretty much everything. We created the spoken and the written language. But over time, dominant society, the colonizers, they flipped the narrative on that and basically made black to mean something negative. We go to any dictionary or thesaurus, you will see the word black used in a negative way. They go out of their way to denote origin with the word black, associate origin and nationality with the word black. They'll say things like, or they usually start off, black, original, aboriginal people descending from Africa, and then they'll start with the negative words, nouns, pronouns, etc. Black, gloomy, desolate, black, bleak. Basically, they're equating all things negative with the word black. But before they do that, they go out of their way to let you know they're talking about, black people from Africa, descendants of Africa. Anything you can trace your lineage back to Africa, you're black. So, I also believe in the power of words and how they have, the word black set up in the dictionary is like it symbolizes disease, death, and dying. Um, you know, and I think that kind of does something to us on a subconscious level when we say it, because it's been ingrained into us to mean something negative, even though, we created the word, when we created the spoken language, it meant something positive. It means something positive, but we have to go all the way back. We got to jog our memory and purge ourselves of, all the things that they've taught us and things they've instilled and ingrained in us to get back to the original true nature and roots of the word black. To reclaim it for our own, it's going to take some doing. But anyway, now with the original, the word original in the same dictionary, their dictionary, there's no connotation, no negative connotation surrounding the word original. Original is all positivity. It means basically, the first and in many cases the best. And I think that's a really good way to describe us as a people, because when you think about it, we were and are the original men and women of this planet. We was here about 5,000 years before anybody, before any, race, color, religion, whatever. We originated everything. Everything started with us. We didn't crawl out of no primordial ooze. We didn't evolve from monkeys, chimpanzees, apes, gorillas, baboons, orangutans, nothing primal, like, no primal creature that we evolved from. We wasn't dwelling in no caves. We didn't have, a cranial overbite. We wasn't dragging our knuckles. We was fully evolved, standing erect, fully sentient, creating life, creating culture. So we birthed this planet. We're the mothers and fathers of this planet. We are the original man and original woman of this planet. We originated everything you could possibly think of. We originated, the spoken and written word. We originated, time, like how to keep track of it. The clock telling time. We originated that. We originated medicine. We originated alchemy. We originated pretty much everything, like architecture. We originated spirituality and religion. We was the first Christians. We was the first Muslims. We was the first Buddhists. We were the first whatever. We were the first children of Israel. We was the first. We was the original copy of everything. We was on every single corner of the globe, and spoiler alert, we didn't get there via slave boats. Not every single corner of the globe that we inhabited did we go over there by slave boat, by the slave trade. It was already in the Americas. It was already, in parts of Greek, in the Mediterranean. Greek, Italy, was already in Europe. I can go on and on and on with that, but basically what I'm saying is, original describes us better as a people, as opposed to black. And, on my platform, I try to, refer to us as original as often as possible in reference to our people and our culture. Nothing wrong with using the word black. Like I said in the beginning, it meant something positive. If you're comfortable referring to yourself as black, go right on ahead. I'm not saying like black is better than original, but I just feel personally like original better describes us as a people. And then not only does it describe us better, it's an all-inclusive word because there's many different types of us hailing from many different regions of the world. And that's kind of, when you say an original, that's kind of like the glue that binds us all together. So, you can be Haitian, you can be Jamaican, you can be from, the Ivory Coast, you can be from different parts of Africa, you can be from the Ivory Coast, you can be from the Congo, you can be wherever. As long as you can trace your lineage back to Africa, as long as you possess melanin or carbon, you are an original man or an original woman. So, the word original is the tie that binds us all together. You can be like, FBA, you can be whatever, but you're definitely original. All right, so I'm gonna dive into the content today. For those that's new to my platform, this is a live edition of the Narrator podcast, and on my live editions, what I tend to do, or what I do, I don't tend to do it, I share, positive frames of reference in the form of articles, and the reason why I do that is to, flip the narrative, destroy the negative stereotypes by providing positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. So, when I see positive articles, something that catches my radar, a catchy headline, I share that as opposed to sharing something about a gang shootout or, millions dead, a natural disaster, or somebody living in strife. I try to share stories about leadership, entrepreneurship, just basically us thriving and triumphing in the face of adversity and just being, who we are, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, um, being assets, not liabilities to this thing called humanity. So first of all, let's get underway, diving right on into the content. Then after my content, I'm gonna do some commentary on a couple things circulating in the media, just deliver my commentary on it. And then after my commentary, I'll walk you through my format for a full broadcast day of the Narrator podcast. And then also plug anything I got going on and then leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening. So up first, on the Narrator podcast, live edition. Start with my first article I came across. This is an oldie, happened a couple years ago, but it's news to me. I'm now years old when I heard of it. Article reads, the headline reads in this article, Minneapolis man turns tragedy into triumph, opening first black-owned vegan restaurant in the city. And the brother's name is Chef Lois Hunter, and the establishment is called Trio. So how this restaurant came about is really fascinating. First of all, he is blood related to the late Philando Castillo. He is Philando Castillo's cousin. And like after Philando, the untimely passing of Philando, they were having, peaceful demonstrations all over the city in response to what happened to Philando, and he got arrested. And then charges were brought against him. They were ended up dropped. And the people that bailed him out was Sarah and Dan Woodcock, who would later go on to be, his business partners. So like after he got his legal situation situated, they approached him with a business opportunity. He said he had been studying plant-based for quite a while. They presented the opportunity to go into business with them, help them run their brainchild, a plant-based eatery. So they launched it in like 2018, 2019, or 2019. And then by the end of 2020, Sarah and Dan, they washed their hands of it. They went to back out of the business. And then Lewis, he stepped up and took ownership of it. And now he is the sole proprietor of Trio restaurant, vegan restaurant in Minneapolis. And, it was just, a positive, turned a negative into a positive, because that could have went all bad. Because sometimes people, especially with our culture, our men act like that one arrest is all bad from there. Because then after that, it's just like, then you're targeted by the police, and then it's arrest after arrest after arrest after arrest. Sometimes, in some situations, it's just like, But anyway, He turned a negative into a positive. He's now a proud business owner and delivering the community and his people, some healthy food options and providing opportunity for the community that he's rooting in. He hires his own and, donates and gives back to the community. So give a warm narrative podcast round of applause for Lewis Hunter and Trio Restaurant. And my next article headline reads, Atlanta man turns large trash cans into mobile hygiene closets to provide students with essential products. And the Atlanta man's name is Jahari Dozer. The project was the Clean Cargo Project. And the Clean Cargo Project was an initiative because it's still going on, to provide students with basic hygiene products for going back to school, such as soap, such as toothpaste, such as, deodorant, probably foot powder and stuff, probably for the girls, pads and whatnot. He started the initiative program when one of his own relatives, younger relatives, was in need. So he just, he didn't think about his own family's needs. He thought about, well, if I got my own relative in need, I know there's that person lives in that neighborhood, so I know he's not the only one in need. So he went on and partnered up, found the, sponsorship and expanded it. He's currently partnered up with Sublime Donuts. So, there's some food given away too, in addition to the hygiene supplies for the young children. So, give it up for brother Jahari Dozer and the Clean Cargo Project. So this next article, I actually had a spotlight on this brother a while ago. I gotta say, I am disappointed in the stance he took with Kyrie Irving. I'm disappointed, very disappointed in the stance he took, but nevertheless, can't take nothing away from him. He still does good charity work for the community. He gives back, partners up with the people he needs to partner up with to bring about change, to be the change. So for that, I respect him. I just did not respect his stance with brother Kyrie Irving. But nevertheless, the article I came across was about LeBron James's most recent endeavor that he's giving to inner city youth. He's partnered with crypto.com to teach inner city youth about blockchaining. So it's an emerging technology, and it's something everybody needs to know about. Need to know everything about technology. Unless you plan on living off the grid, which is not bad. Like if you want to live off the grid, that's cool. Plant your own food, all that, and then only just have a cell phone and just like for emergencies, like somebody can get a hold of you. You know, there's perfectly nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to live in this modern world, you need to know about blockchaining. You need to know about AI. You need to know about just the basics of computers. You need to know how, like it's like 23 and there's still like an overwhelming, resounding number of us that don't even know how to operate a computer. Like there's some of us that don't even know how to send emails. There's some of us that don't know how to just perform simple left click options on the computer, how to cascade, like how to create a Word document. There's like some of us don't know how to do nothing in Word. Like you got to get with the times is what I'm saying. I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but you need like the basics. Like you need to know how the basics, the Microsoft operating package. You need to get acquainted with that. You need to know how to perform at least one function in all of it, in Word, in Excel, in PowerPoint. You know, in Access, something like you need to know all these software packages, how to do one thing in them. You don't got to be a computer whiz, but you need to be acquainted with technology is what I'm saying. So LeBron James has definitely stepped up to the plate, helping bridge the gap, giving our children the leg up they need to stay with the times. So give a warm narrative podcast round of applause for LeBron James and the crypto.com initiative. Now for my last article, this happened last year, but I'm now years old. I've never heard of it, and this is why I share articles like this, because if I ain't heard of it, you probably haven't heard of it either. Because you know, especially when it comes to rappers, because you're always hearing them either getting arrested or beating somebody up or you know some type of violence. You very rarely hear about them doing anything humane and giving back. You always see, you know, hip hop artists, rappers in a negative light in the media, like going to jail or, you know, acting out of their character, riffing on camera. But so my last article for this evening, the headline reads, Young Jeezy gave up his seat to an 11-year-old battling stage 7 cancer. The young man was 11 years old. He was on his way to Memphis, Tennessee to receive some cancer treatments. I did not take down the young man's name in the notes. Let me see. I can punch it up right quick. My bad. I'm live. I just forgot to. When I come across these articles, I just like, you know, I jot the notes down and put little bulleted points. But, you know, when I go live, it's completely random. I never know what days I'm going to have free to do it because I'm working on so much stuff. But, yeah, I just like forgot to put in the notes. But anyway, let me punch it up right quick. Okay. This was like last year in February. It just says the name was Andre. It didn't say the young man's last name. And then said he just basically gave up his first class seat so Andre could experience first class, and Jeezy took the coach seat. And yeah, I think Jeezy has a non-profit organization as well. Let me see, punch that up. Yeah, something called Toys in the Hood. Yeah, something else. Voter registration. He had his very own one. I forgot. But anyway, he had his own nonprofit organization. But I had it in the notes, but I just forgot that. I forgot to put it in the notes. My bad. But yeah, the young man's name was Andre. He was on his way to Memphis, Tennessee, to receive some cancer treatment, and Young Jeezy gave up his seat for Andre so it can be comfortable on the way back. So that was some really good news to share because you rarely hear rappers, hip hop artists going above and beyond, doing the right thing, not just for you know publicity and photo ops, but because they really care. You know what I'm saying? We always just see them like I said, in violence or some type of scandal or something. But anyway, that'll do it for the articles this evening. And then I'm gonna deliver a brief little spiel about a couple things circulating all around in the media and the reason why I deliver my commentary on things for like breaking news, especially news concerning us, is to control the narrative. Because if history hasn't taught us anything, it's like if you don't tell your story will be told for you. And so, that's what I do when I'm talking about current events and trending news and topics. I'm just controlling the narrative because the way the media put it out, they have us looking and sounding crazy. But, I'm not a know-it-all. I don't think I know everything, but I call it like I see it, and I'm pretty earnest about the things I say and spot on with my observations. But, yeah. So, first things first, what's popping in the media? Or things I want to touch on. The brother was trending currently. When is this brother not trending? Because it seemed like he just kind of, got out of the spotlight for something he did before this new thing. So like Jonathan Majors, let's talk about it. So currently, the brother was accused of assaulting a young lady, and after some digging, they found out, it was completely false. He never touched her. She alleged, he assaulted her and, did her dirty, beat her up, yada, yada, yada. I'm saying it so bored, cause it's just like, when is this never not a thing for us? Like, so, our brothers in Hollywood, like, it's either, they always, like, soon as the fame comes, soon as you start gaining traction on projects, you can be a recording artist, you can be an actor, you can be an athlete. Like, soon as you start gaining momentum, like, one of the first things they throw at you is, sexual misconduct. It's like a rape allegation, or, a domestic abuse type situation. It's either that or, pedophilia, or if it's not that, it's gambling, it's drugs, it's rumors of being homosexual, feminized, but like I said, he was at the target of that for his photo shoot he did for a magazine. Now, I don't gossip on my platform. Like I said, I don't entertain gossip. I don't feed into it. But sometimes you got to call a spade a spade. And that, photo shoot definitely was an eyebrow raising thing. Like, there's so many avenues that he could have took for that. There's so many different poses he could have posed in a different manner. But I wasn't talking about the photo shoot. I was just speaking in general how they do our brothers. They either try to hyper criminalize them or, emasculate us, or try to feminize us in Hollywood. Like, why is that just a thing? Like, why are we so threatening to them? Like, why, right when you get at the height of your success, these little, clubs and organizations that, people are crazy for mentioning their names, saying that they exist, the them people, why when the them people they want to come after us all the time? Like, spread it around. Mess with somebody else. Like, why is it us all the time? Like, seriously, like, soon as we get traction on a project, here they come with their woo-wah. They coming with the gossip. They coming with the lies. Like, dang, why can't we just live? Why you coming with all that? But yeah, that's all I really want to say. Nothing super exhilarating or groundbreaking. Nothing we haven't heard. It's just basically, it's sad that it's normal to us now. Like, every time we get success, when we're in the entertainment industry or in the eye of the public, here the BS comes. Here all these people coming out the woodwork talking about you did something to them. The sexual assault allegations, the physical assault allegations, the drugs, the this, the that. And for what? Why do we automatically have to sign up for that? Like, why does that just automatically come for us? Like, everybody else gets their cake and eats it too, except us. We don't get to have our cake and eat it too. You know? But yeah, anyway, like it's really tragic. Like I said, I'm not going to comment on the the photo shoot. I mean, I still enjoy the brother as an actor. I think he's a talented, gifted actor. You know, but again, it's like the powers that be. It's like it's deep. It's deeper than people think, and there's more levels to it. It's like onion layers to it. So there ain't no telling, what they got on him or over him for all this like trouble sticking to him now. Like, so it's going to be something next, probably like next month for him. All right, that's it for that particular subject. Next thing I want to talk about was the sentencing of Eric Holder, the guy that killed Nipsey Hussle. So, is this like really calling? This is definitely calling a spade. Excuse me. This is definitely calling a spade a spade. The judge delivering the sentence says he's going to have it rough in jail. He said all the gangs has the green light to do whatever they want to him. I don't think that's a direct quote, but that's basically what the judge said. The judge delivered the sentence. He's like, he's not going to have it easy in jail. Now, I think it's interesting that throughout the proceedings, Eric Holder's never actually, said anything. He stayed silent throughout the proceedings. He didn't say anything. He just took the time. He didn't try to have a defense ready. He just accepted the judgment. So I'm not going to profess to know, the politics of LA street politics, how the gangs work over there, and what is the rules of engagement over there. But I do know a thing or three about gangs. I know all of us do, being original man and original woman, because it's really kind of a shame, but all of us do. I mean, you name a street organization, and I got a blood-related relative, either a high-ranking official or somebody with elite status in all of them. You name one, I guarantee you I do. Every state in the United States. And I'm not trying to say that to like be cute or like glorify it. It's just actual factual fact. I don't know a lot about it. As I said, I don't know a lot about it, but I do know about how dirty and divisive and manipulative our U.S. government is. I do know that they are the masters of subterfuge. I do know they are the masters of misdirection. I do know they're the masters of, espionage. And all three of those factors definitely took place when Nipsey Hussle was murdered. Because this guy, He was a solution-based brother. He was actually turning the tide, having a solution to all these problems that our government is throwing at us, our people. And he came from that environment, knew what the neighborhood needs. And then another thing about our government, like in our public school system, like, y'all might call me a conspiracy theorist, but I'm gonna say it anyway, like our government knows what you're gonna be before you know what you're gonna be. Like they monitor us from kindergarten. They literally have people from, the Pentagon going up to schools, monitoring our children. They go up there around the fiscal quarter, to do their annual SARS reports and, what do they call them? Evaluations. They're evaluating I'm doing air quotes, I'm in an audio platform. They're evaluating the learning institution. They're taking notes. They're monitoring our children. Like it starts as early as like right when they start school, when they get their hearing in their eye charts. They're implanting things in our heads. You dig? I can go real super deep with it, but I'm just setting up the stage to just, tell you how diabolical our government is. And although, street politics ultimately was a contributing factor to Nipsey's hustles, if you don't believe that our government didn't have nothing to do with that at all, he just put it 110% on just gang warfare. Like, I think we gotta just agree to disagree. Cause like I said, I'm not familiar with the neighborhood and all that and the politics and all that surrounding it, but come on, the people that put stuff in everything, like to poison our air supply, to poison our food supply, that put, hallucinogenic things with hallucinogenic properties in everything. The same people that's going to give you some medicine that might not work, but say you need it so you don't get sick from this invisible thing that shut the whole world down. These people. Okay, like when the riots was going on, they was showing photos of people with prosthetic masks, like black people masks, like the rubber Scooby-Doo masks, like those. But I just found it interesting that the judge came out the cup and said all the gangs got the green lights to go in on Eric Holder, and we've never heard Eric Holder's story. There's two sides to every story, whether, you think you know the story. Like you can be there, you could have been there that day and watched it. But again, our government, they're the masters at making you believe you saw something you didn't actually see. They're the masters at making you hear something you didn't actually hear. They manipulate information, they manipulate data, they manipulate people. So although he might have been the trigger man, it started over a miscommunication, allegedly. So somebody said that word got back to him that Nip was calling him a snitch, and then he came back and aired it out. So, like, how did the word get back to him anyway? Who sent him the word? You dig? I'd be thinking like that. There's always somebody in stories like that. There's always somebody in the middle. And the somebody in the middle usually is the ops. Usually. You know, people are saying that no, Eric Holder says he doesn't have any redeeming qualities as a human being. His gang name was Shitty Cuz. So, you know. But I'm not sold on it. All these years later, I'm just not sold on it. Was just solely gang bang politics that played the demise in somebody that's really was bringing about change. I mean, Nipsey, he himself, he never was indifferent. Like, he still had one foot in it and said, you know, on many occasions, it's like he would say it all the time. It's still 60s, like whatever he was doing in life, he was still, you know, with that organization. So, yeah, like you can't have one foot in it and think it's not going to come back for you. But just gangs in general, if you know your history, you know, Bloods and Crips, that was originally designed to uplift and edify our neighborhoods, to protect us from invaders. So it was just over time that Bloods and Crips and, you know, Disciples and Vice Lords and all the gangs ended up being used for something else. So yeah, that's just basically my commentary, my spiel on those two particular topics. You know, there's always just some more to it. That's all I really have to say. All right, so that's it for the commentary on that. I mean, you could take and run with it and take and believe or whatever you want to about that, but it is what it is. It's unfortunate that we lost that brother. It's even more unfortunate, you know, that's the only way us as a people we receive adequate justice is when one of us is dead and one of us is in jail. So, well, that was it for my commentary. Now I'm gonna walk you through my full format for today. I mean, for this weekend. So I have a full narrative podcast show every single weekend. This is just a random live. On my random lives, like I said, I never know what days I'm going to go live. So I usually I usually go live in excuse me, I just lost my train of thought. I usually go live on random days and do these articles. I just recently started that, but I definitely go do the podcast every single weekend. Working on trying to cross over into video coming soon. But for right now, I'm just occupying the audio space. So let me walk you through a normal narrative podcast broadcast full day, of my content, what to expect. So first off, my podcast is time-based. Like I try to not have my podcast exceed 1 hour in length. And I did that because originally I got the idea, or like when I first started doing it, is it was around about the time everybody was doing podcasting. And when I started podcasting, I would just talk and have no real direction. I would have no real course of action or whatever. But yeah. I would just talk. Excuse me, I just got a lot on my mind today. I would just talk. I wouldn't have any starting and stopping point. And then when I did that, I had noticed, nobody was listening. And so I took a step back, said, what do I want to focus on? What do I want to do with my platform? I want to uplift and edify my people. That's what I said I want to do. And lo and behold, that's what I did. I streamlined my content. I broke it down into sections and gave each section a speaking point. And I tried my best to time the sections. And I got more feedback. So, that's what I'm about to walk you through, the Narrator podcast experience in its entirety over the weekend. So first off, for my very first section, I call it the promo section. So in the promo section, what I do is I promote original people's businesses that own and operate their own business. And the reason why I do that is to, do my part into, oh shucks, I'm almost out of juice. Excuse me. To do my part to help circulate the original people dollar in the original people community. And I do that for 110% free. I'm not charging any money whatsoever. So like I said, I'll just do that to, give them the opportunity to promote and plug anything they got going on, any business, product, or service they got. And my intent is to attract people that's doing for the community. so they can grow their business and provide more opportunities for the communities that they're rooted in. So on my next section is the promo section. And these sections, I give you you can go check my previously recorded episode log, and that'll give you the full details of the section. The next section is my contest section. And in the contest section, what I'm doing is I'm hosting a contest exclusively for the Narrator podcast. It's called the Chew on This contest. And what I'm doing is giving you a bulk supply opportunity to win a bulk supply of your favorite snack simply by participating in the contest topic. And the contest topic is share your most recent shopping while Black experience. And for that, I will reward you with a bulk supply of your favorite snack, just simply by participating in the contest topic. Again, the entry is free, and you can get all the information on the previously recorded episode. And I'm doing that simply for, incentive to keep on for listeners that been checking me in, tuning in, checking me out, to keep on tuning in and checking me out. And then secondly, excuse me. Like I said, long day, a lot of stuff on my mind. And then secondly, give listener feedback, crowd participation, show me you're listening. The prizes will get more extravagant as I attract more sponsors. Right now, everything's out of pocket expense. Now next is after that, this is really the takeoff point of my podcast, is the highlight section. The highlight section, I'm actually highlighting businesses owned and operated by original people. And the reason I'm doing that is to highlight, like I said, highlight business owned and operated by original people, is to showcase, entrepreneurship, give the positive frame of reference about entrepreneurship, because we don't have a lot of positive frames of reference about entrepreneurship or doing for itself. All we got is like violent television shows, toxic scripted reality shows. We don't, when we do have them about entrepreneurship, everybody's so fixated and focused on all the negativity surrounding it that you miss the entrepreneurship. So, secondly, after the entrepreneur thing, or the highlight section, I go to the spotlight section. And the spotlight section is basically a section where I'm spotlighting a prominent figure within our community. It's usually somebody in the entertainment industry, ranging from actor, actress, comedian, athletes. I've spotlighted religious figures as well, public figures, basically anybody in the eye of the public. And the reason why I do that is to create the healthy habit of saying something nice about your brother or sister, instead of opposed to always denigrating and tearing each other down. I want to edify, teach, put it in the atmosphere to edify and build each other up, give them the roses while they're here, give them their just dues, appreciating them for everything that they bring to the table. I really spotlight people that, speak on the cause, do charity, philanthropy, just things that build us up and not bring us down. do their part where they can do their part, and, celebrate and appreciate them for doing their part. And not for nothing, I started the spotlight, or the way for spotlighting, because before I added the spotlight section to the Narrative Podcast, nobody was spotlighting anyone. You dig? Nobody was spotlighting anyone. And to no avail. I don't take it as a slight. It makes me really actually happy so many people are spotlighting now, because now when you tune in to shows today, spotlight is on today's show. We'll be spotlighting this person. Nobody was doing that before I was doing it. So if I put it out in the atmosphere to create the atmosphere where we're speaking positively about one another instead of negatively, then I feel good about that.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
You better know it. All right. So after the spotlight section, I go into the health and wellness section. In the health and wellness section, basically, I'm speaking about total body wellness, physically, mentally, and spiritually, because those are all the areas that we're being attacked. So I give tips on how to keep and maintain a healthy, active, fit lifestyle. So basically, I'm telling, how to maintain a healthy, active, fit lifestyle. Telling, for like on the physical side of it, you'll hear tips about, the health benefits of a fruit, vegetable, herb, elixir, or roots, or just something that will, keep you vital, virile, and healthy, from ingesting it or applying it topically to your body. On the other physical side of it, exercises you can do to stay in shape, to stay healthy, active, and fit. And then on the mental side of it, things like meditation, mindful breathing, spiritual side of it, praying and meditating, I even get into metaphysical stuff sometimes. But basically in that section, I'm just teaching us how to stay armored up in these trying times, because we get tried in all areas. And then my next section is by speaking point of the day, or sometimes, speaking point of the day. And basically it's like what I did tonight, just commentary about current events around the world or in our community. And the purpose of me doing that is to control the narrative, because the media have us looking and sounding crazy. So, I'm just putting my 2 cents in on it, unpacking it from our perspectives, original people's perspective on whatever's going on. And then rounding out my podcast, my last section is the final thought or the final word of the day. And the final thought or word of the day is usually just, something wise, something insightful, something that will inspire motivation and inspiration, and have you just, thinking deep thoughts. Just a final something a gem, a pearl of wisdom, something that you can resonate with you. And so that's it. That's the Narrator podcast in its entirety. I know you will join me this weekend. And one second, just pause for the cause. I'm sorry. I just had to get something in. When I'm going live, when I'm recording, you have a pause button. But when I'm live, I can't pause. But like I had to get something. It was wrapped up in something. But anyway. So as I was saying, I round things out with my final thought or final word of the day. And it's usually something inspiring, motivational, inspirational, and to leave you with. But, that's the Narrative podcast in its entirety. And I'm done for this evening. Thanks you all for listening to this episode of the Narrative podcast. To help me grow my platform, I'm just asking you to download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative podcast. That'll help me lots. You can also share it on all your platforms. Like, share, but definitely download it in all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative podcast. What else? That's basically it. I written a book of poetry titled The Black Card. The Black Card is available for purchase in the Poetizer bookstore. If you do not have purchased your copy of The Black Card, go to poetizer.com, go to their bookstore, and purchase a copy or several copies of The Black Card. It's 30 poems, basically highlighting our experience within our culture, and as a people, you will love them. They're quick and witty, very creative. It'll make a good coffee table read, or a good travel book if you're flying, or pulled over to the road and or in the hotel and just want something to do. Go pick it up, The Black Card. And then lastly, I got my own personal poetry blog called Halsey's Poetry Corner. It's on blogger.com, and the address is www.mrhalseyblogs.com. And to, get it, to do it, just basically, log in at Halsey's Poetry Corner, to support Halsey's Poetry Corner. You would just want to log in to Halsey's Poetry, Halsey's Poetry Corner at www.mrhalseyblogs.com. Sorry, y'all, I just had a really long day. I'm just doing so much stuff. You don't even know what I got planned, but, it gets taxing after a while, but wow. But anyway, you go to Halsey's Poetry Corner at www.mrhalseyblogs.com. My tagline is Poetry with a Passion, poetry for all occasions. And when you read them, you'll find out why, and how you support it is just basically share a poem or all my poems for Halsey's Poetry Corner to, all your platforms, to your Facebook, to your YouTube, to your Tumblr, TikTok, whatever you got, whatever digital platform you got. Share a poem from Halsey's Poetry Corner to it, and I'll appreciate that very much. That'll help grow the platform. Definitely download this episode and our previously recorded episodes of the Narrator podcast, and tune in this weekend for sure. Tune in on a regular basis because you never know when I'm going to go live. I never know when I'm going to go live, but tune in regularly, and yeah, we will definitely see each other this weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening, tonight, and listening to the Narrator podcast. So that's it, and that's all, y'all. I'm out of here like last year. Halsey Allen and the Narrator podcast signing off, and it's like that.
I'm gonna set your place on fire. Put a little bit of sugar, put a little bit of sugar, get a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of sugar.